Hey guys, welcome back to the channel and thanks for tuning in for today's video. I'd also like to thank you all for the continued support, as it really does mean a lot to me. So it's the second video of the week and also the second Voldemort video of the week. Kind of a Voldemort appreciation week, if you will. So the topic I want to talk about in today's video is if Voldemort was destined to become the most powerful dark wizard of all time. How did he become so powerful? As some of you may already know from my previous videos, I believe the magical world is predestined, as by evidence of so many prophecies, Harry's one in particular, so I thought it would be interesting to apply this line of thought to Tom Riddle's emergence as Lord Voldemort and the destruction he brought with him. So let's continue the video and discuss this further. Guys, before we start, I'd like to talk about today's sponsor, Surfshark. This company have continued to sponsor me throughout these difficult times, so I'd be very appreciative if you kept watching and hear what I've got to say, as this product is really beneficial for you all. Surfshark offer you an incredibly powerful VPN to protect your internet privacy. In today's computer age, hackers are constantly trying to gain access to your bank account details, your social media passwords, and access to your personal information, amongst many other things. This can all be prevented when browsing under Surfshark's protection. Not only does it protect your privacy, it also offers you a lot more. Different countries have different viewing restrictions on what content can be viewed. Therefore, by logging into a VPN based in another country, you can gain access to that content that may be blocked in the country that you live in. For example, I've always used the Australia VPN, but it's recently come to my attention that you can gain access to the Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald movie on Netflix by using the Indian VPN, which is pretty cool. As I've mentioned, Surfshark have been sponsoring this channel for over a year, and they've given some great deals in the past, but this one is by far the best. If you join Surfshark today, you'll get 83% off, 3 extra months for free. You'll also be able to use Surfshark on as many devices as you like, there's no limits, and finally, there's a 30-day money-back guarantee. Basically, if you're not happy, if you're not satisfied, then your money will be returned. It's a no-brainer, guys. So sign up to Surfshark right now by clicking the link in the description below. Welcome back, guys. So let's talk about this. Now, it's no secret that Voldemort was the most powerful dark wizard of all time. The man almost brought the wizarding world to its knees twice and achieved a power that was simply unimaginable. He even managed to conquer death. The thing about Voldemort is, nobody before him had ever even come close to matching his achievements, and nobody after him either. As Ollivander once said, the things he did were terrible, but great.
Terrible. Yes, but great.
There's no denying he was a great wizard, despite his horrific actions. So the question has to be asked, was Voldemort destined to become as powerful as he had become? Was this a path he was always going to take? Well, before I can answer that, let's look at him as a person and his situation first. Tom Riddle always knew he was special. He never lacked self-belief. Even as a boy in the orphanage, he knew he was different. None of the other kids could do the things he could do. This was his first taste of power. Power over the other children. Power that he became addicted to. He craved it, lusted after it. It was one of the similarities that he shared with Dumbledore. From the moment he set foot in Hogwarts, he was determined to be the very best he could be. He wanted to maximize his potential. He knew he could be great. The Hogwarts professors knew it too. Tom always looked at magic from outside the box, from every aspect, different lines of magic, how some areas needed to be addressed, how other areas of magic could be taken advantage of.
A Horcrux is an object in which a person has concealed part of their soul.
That was one of the things that made Riddle so great before he transitioned into Lord Voldemort. He highlighted every area of magic, even love, and its old powers. As he said, when he returns to power, it was something he should have foreseen. It was just when he came into such incredible power in his latter years, he dismissed the things he felt were no longer important to continue to study. He knew from quite early on he wasn't happy with the current standards of the magical sector. He hated how segregated the magical folk were from the outside world. He hated the mixture of magical and muggle blood.
To her, the mixture of magical and muggle blood is not an abomination, but something to be encouraged.
He wanted to take magic to a whole, different, never-before-seen level. He'd do that by fully embracing dark magic. I'm talking spells, potions, rituals, because he knew he'd have to bring upon these changes himself. He'd have to take control if he wanted to take over. His first step was making sure his own fate was secure by achieving immortality. Now, this is the first area that can allow some light into if Tom was destined to have the life he did. Immortality is a violation of everything that life stands for. Life begins and it ends. For everyone. Magic has always been there to be maximized, to be shaped and bent to the will of the caster. It was not meant, however, to unnaturally infringe upon nature itself. When Voldemort did that, he shifted the balance in his favour, and this did not go unpunished, as we've seen by the disturbing change in his physical appearance. The additional consequences should he be defeated would be severe. A consequence that in the current wizarding timeline he's experiencing and will experience for the rest of time. However, for the best part of 40 years, he reaped the benefits of his eternal life. Tom Riddle hated the world he was born into. He hated the life he was born into. And he questioned every day. He questioned it many times why things were how they were for him. Why was he left in the orphanage? Why didn't his parents want him? Or what even happened to them? It's as if Tom Riddle was born angry. He had a reason to be unhappy, to hate, because the truth of the matter is, Voldemort was the result of an unnatural, one-sided union. His birth came from his mother robbing his father of his own will. He was never meant to be conceived. He shouldn't have and wouldn't have been in any other circumstance. Merope Gaunt used magic to manipulate the senses of Tom Riddle Sr., which for me is questionable on whether it could have been predestined, as it was so out of the ordinary. The Dark Lord wanted to rid himself of everything that was Tom Riddle, the half-blood orphan who couldn't afford his Hogwarts books without a stipend. Voldemort emerged from the monster within Riddle, and I genuinely believe the world was not ready for a wizard of such a powerful yet devastating magnitude. He was something that nobody had ever seen. Magic was twisted, bended and blackened to the Dark Lord's will in a manner that nature could not contend with. If I could compare it to anything, it's kind of like Agent Smith becoming too powerful in the Matrix and he needs to be stopped by Neo. This is why I believe the prophecy was written within the magical world and Harry Potter would be marked as the Dark Lord's equal. Lord Voldemort had taken magic far beyond any reasonable limit. He violated nature time and time again with the creation of his Horcruxes. Then he done the opposite of cheating death by raising the dead with his army of Inferi. That was something that violated nature too. The dead should always remain dead. He was beyond stopping, so the universe intervened and even allowed the Dark Lord to mark Harry as his equal himself. There's always a point of no return for any villain, and for most people in general. You know, certain actions will take you past the point of where you just can't come back from. With Tom Riddle, it was those achievements. That's if you even call either of those feats achievements. I also think there was no hesitation when it came to him killing anyone. He seemed to have no conscience whatsoever. He could justify absolutely everything, no matter how awful it was. Even the death of his father and grandparents. Now, if we just go back to the prophecy for a moment, because there's something I want to talk about. There's something I want to highlight. The prophecy wasn't created to orchestrate the downfall of Voldemort. It was written in order to present the opposer with a chance to shift the balance of power away from Voldemort. That's why it reads, neither can live while the other survives, meaning Harry Potter could have been killed with Voldemort emerging the victor and his campaign finally reaching the prosperous levels he'd envisioned. Had he been victorious, he would have been unstoppable, and would have definitely succeeded in shaping the wizarding world in his image. So, if you ask me, was Voldemort destined to become so powerful? Well, I think he was destined for greatness because he persevered despite the disadvantaged start he had. However, I don't believe it was ever on the cards for him to blacken magic in the manner that he did. As Horace Slughorn once said, if the monster existed, it was buried deep within, of which my interpretation of that being, there was something inside Tom Riddle that drove him to the extremes he went to. He held on to that hatred. It fueled him on his journey to power. Anyway guys, with that being said, that is my video on if Voldemort was destined to become so powerful. If you disagree, let me know in the comment section below. I always love reading what you have to say. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you all in the next video. I'd just like to highlight, for those of you who may want to check out my personal life, which does include Harry Potter stuff, that I do have an Instagram where I post lots of photos that you can view. It's also the best way to contact me if you have a question or even a video idea. I may not reply immediately, but I'll try my best to get back to you all. You can check it out from the link in the description below. Enjoy the video. Thank you so much for watching. I truly appreciate your support. Everyone, notifications of uploads are more important than ever. So please, if you haven't already, turn those notifications on to make sure you're notified the moment my video goes live. Making videos is what I love to do. It's my dream and my passion. However, it does cost time and money to produce this content. So if you have $1 to spare to support me on Patreon in exchange for some exclusive unseen content, then you can click the Patreon link below or at the end of this video. Please only support me if you can afford it. And make sure to follow me on Instagram at InstaDNJ and on Twitter at PotterFolklore. Check out my other videos appearing on screen, and please make sure, most importantly, to hit that subscribe button. Thanks again everyone, and please have a great day.